What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Nerd Media, and as you can tell, today we're going to be talking about the Civil War Marvel comic book, one of the most recognizable Marvel comics to comic book and MCU fans. I finally sat down and read this last week, and I just want to talk about why I think that this version of Civil War is very clearly just awesome and may even be better than the movie version. And I'm going to talk about that in this video and just doing some comparisons and stuff that I feel like Marvel may touch on in the future, and just overall my thoughts on the book because I really enjoyed this one. So with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have read this book and what your thoughts are, and let's dive right into the video. So the Civil War comic book is obviously very similar to Captain America: The Civil War in the MCU, whereas the replacement for what Sokovia is in that universe and how that event really sets this film in motion. It's essentially a group of small mutants filming a reality TV show. In this book, something goes wrong, the whole entire neighborhood gets blown up, so the Avengers and everybody have to come in and really figure out what went wrong and what exactly is going to be going down in this book. So it's already very different because you have mutants starting out and you have this small group of kids who are filming an actual reality superhero TV show, which I think is pretty cool, and I feel like that is something that we could possibly even see in the MCU later at a later date. But I'm not going to compare the MCU too much to this book. I mean, I'm going to talk about some things that I noticed that are heavily different from the movie to the book, but I'm going to be talking about it. So I really thought that that was a really fun way to kind of kickstart everything. And it's really interesting to see how many characters were actually in this story because this book was on my list for a long time and I never realized that how many characters were actually a part of this. And it really makes me think that, wow, the MCU didn't really have, like, they had little to none characters for Civil War because this one, they have the Fantastic Four, they have the X-Men, they have the Avengers. They have so many. They even bring Thor in. It's like crazy to me, but I think that it was a very awesome read and I just really enjoyed it. And obviously in the comics and the movies, Captain America and Iron Man are both kind of on the same sides and they don't flip the switch and one of them thinks the other. And I think that that is a very obvious thing. Like, they would have been on different sides if the comic was written differently. But I think it was very fun and it was very cool to see how you have the three smartest people in the world on Tony's team with Tony, Bruce, and Reed. I think that that was insane, and some of the double crosses and some of the different things and events that take place that happen are just insane because this book is really great at making you heavily side with Captain America rather than Tony, because Tony does end up actually accidentally killing one of the superheroes in battle with this computer robot generated version of Thor, which I thought was just insane. And honestly, that probably showed the Russo brothers why they shouldn't bring Thor in for the Civil War in the MCU, because he is way too overpowered regardless if it's the actual physical being of him or if it's a robot version. It was just crazy, and I gotta say it was very well done how they really made Captain America's team feel like the good guys, which they are in this situation, because I side with Captain America both in the comic book and in the movie. I know that is going to divide a lot of people in the comments because that is still a big divide that a lot of people are having to this day about if Tony or Steve was right. And getting to see characters like Spider-Man switch sides and really realize that what Tony is doing is wrong, I think was a very fun way to go about having Spider-Man go to the other side and having Punisher even join Captain America's side for a little bit, which I thought was crazy. And just to think about John Bernthal being a part of the MCU Civil War could have been crazy, especially, and with Charlie Cox's Daredevil on the same team, it would have been awesome. But that obviously iconic panel of Punisher holding Spider-Man as he was beat up by Hobgoblin and all those characters in the sewers as he was trying to escape Tony, I thought was very cool. And it's just so awesome to see all these characters come together for an event that I am familiar with the movie, but I didn't really get the full scope of what it actually is in the comics with how many characters are actually affected and participating in this event. But yeah, I mean, if I had to compare, I think that the comic book version is obviously better. It's the source material for the film, but I'm not here to compare. I mean, Civil War is one of my favorite MCU films. I think it's the definitive way that you do an MCU movie, and when you think of the MCU, I think of Civil War. So that's obviously great for that universe, but this as an event and as a story is awesome, and I just loved it. Right now, I'm currently reading Death in the Family of Batman, so I'm probably going to make a video about that at some point later this week. And then I actually just got a Captain America the Winter Soldier book that I'm going to be reading. Marvel just released it last week, so I'm excited to check that one out. A video on that should probably be coming next week, hopefully. And yeah, I'm hoping that I can make at least 1 to 2 comic book videos a week, depending on when I finish them. I finished this last week, but I didn't have time to make the video, so I'm making it today. And I just overall really, really love this book. It was awesome, and I love little event books that really bring all the characters together, and you really get to see them all interact and shine. It was awesome. I am still yet to read the Infinity Gauntlet, because this and the Infinity Gauntlet were like the two ones that I wanted to read the most, but I've never gotten to them. Finally got to this one. Now I got to get to the Infinity Gauntlet, but very, very happy with this book. I'm very, very happy that I get to even read these books, because sometimes they're hard to find, but I just really, really enjoyed this book, and I love reading these comics. They're so awesome, and I just I love reading comic books, guys. But with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have read this book and what your thoughts are on it. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.